we're back, guys, and right where I left off, I had to stop that. I stopped talking for just a second, but yeah, JulyZerg's going to know he's got a tough opponent here, and especially on this first map, Paranoid Android. I'm interested in seeing how he's going to go full first, half first. What's the plan?
Well, I mean, we've seen in past history the bunker rusher said he was practicing it. Who knows? He may try to go for the exact same strategy. I checked out the replay this morning. I watched it, and I don't see any reason why he couldn't do it again. But you know, when you get played like that in a match, you're probably not going to let it happen to you a second time, especially when you're dealing with guys at these levels. So I'm going to let you start things off as we start map 1, Paranoid Android, Korea versus Korea, JulyZerg versus Iloveoov.
Yes, that's right. Now we have Iloveoov spawning at the 12 o'clock position. Now note, on Paranoid Android, as I've said before, the spot is slightly imbalanced. The 12 o'clock position mine's about 15% faster.
And this is the spawn he was at when he did the bunker rush at the World Cyber Games 2006 Korea Finals.
And I think, you know, that's true, and it's a very high possibility that Zerg may not opt for a fast expansion then, since Terran's already going to be mining minerals quicker than him. It might be harder for him to stop the bunker rush. But, you know, again, we might not even see a bunker rush.
We might not.
We might, but, you know, but it just seems to me like, you know, it seems like most Terrans, you know, at least try it on this map.
All right, well, we're going to find out slowly but surely. The other two games, just in case you're interested, the first game went to JulyZerg. It was a 30-minute game, full techs on both sides. It just came down to kind of, I think, a little bit more superior micro over JulyZerg, but you were talking a little bit about the micro from Iloveoov this morning, and you were saying that you're pretty much just in heaven.
Oh, my gosh. Well, it was just, it's funny, you know, not only does Iloveoov, you know, always move his units, you know, just at the right time. He also knows when to not move his units, when it's better to keep them attacking and wait. I mean, you could see that he has the game so well calculated in his mind. When I was watching him play, you know, I got to say, I've been playing this game for a long time, Marcus, but I learned a lot more about StarCraft just sitting there talking to him and watching him play.
Well, you are the Storm Observer after all, and we will have the first barracks going up. Nothing. I haven't seen any sort of early play here from either of these players, so it's hard to say what to expect. But this is the finals too. There's a lot to lose here. This is a very, very big thing, especially for Korea. I mean, World Cyber Games. Korea gave birth to this thing. You know, it was a 1,000-pound baby that came out. You know, it was like a giant car coming out of something the size of, you know, a peanut. And so it's a big deal, even still in Korea. Yeah, you're kind of, But in Korea, this is a big deal, and here comes the expand from the Zerg here, from JulyZerg, and we will see it come out here. So it's hard to say, but tell us, what do you see?
Well, we're seeing the pool go down first, and the Zerglings coming out right now. Now, this means that the Zerglings are going to be rushing up here, and it looks to me like, although Iloveoov is sending a scouting SCV out, these Zerglings are going to get here pretty fast. I was actually looking at you when the screen was on his side of the map, so we're going to see if he has the SCVs prepared here to stop this. Now, Marcus, this is a big deal right now. The action's already on. He did deflect this rush. Now, can these Zerglings break this? It's up to the micro right now. Can he control his units well enough? It looks like he will be able to do so. As I said before, Iloveoov having excellent micro, really capable of knowing when to move his units, when to not move. The timing is everything here.
Now it looked to me like the Marines came out almost right at the right time. Was it the SUVs that deserved the medal there, or was it the Marines?
You know, I think what it really was it was simply the timing of Iloveoov's build. Basically, I mean, he knows the exact timing that the Zerglings could get there. He knows, you know, whether it's a 9 pool, a 4 pool, a 12 pool, or a pool after hatch. You know, he's prepared to deal with almost any of those, and I'm sure he's trained with his training partners on SK Telecom. Very hard for this, and you know, it all comes down to these games here.
All right, well, the hatchery is up on that side. We still have SCV going over that way. Command center being built just south of the main base of Iloveoov. And aside from the initial rush there, you can see Marines set up on the ramp there to prevent any additional attacks here from JulyZerg. But now that we've gone into, essentially, we know we're going the distance here. We know there's not going to be any sort of fast rush, immediately shut down. What can you expect to see on this map?
Well, I am noticing a fast layer over here. Now this is like, for instance, a different play than what we saw from Mondragon. You know, back then we saw, or back earlier a few days ago, we saw him go 3-hatch before layer. More economical, but a little bit more risky, a little bit more prone to rush. JulyZerg going fast layer, but note that Iloveoov going fast command center right now. Very early expansion, no bunker rush. And this is interesting. I'm also seeing the engineering bay going up. That'll be used to get either, most likely the attack upgrade. All right, Marines now moving out. He scouted his opponent and decided that, okay, now these Zerglings have speed. These Zerglings will do very well against these Marines. These Marines need to get back up there. Run.
They're running for their lives. This isn't StarCraft. This is a marathon.
And we see right now, oh, but it just so happens the SCVs came down, and that was almost coincidental. The SCVs were, when being transferred to the expansion, came down right at that moment. They got in front of the SCVs, but the Zerglings are still, they still want to get up there. He will be getting a lot of Marines, but it looks like Iloveoov kind of coming out a little bit more on top over there. He did lose a few Zerglings. Every unit counts here, but if these Zerglings can get in here and kill these SCVs, which it looks like they will, or no, they won't. He did manage to save all of them, but his SCVs are not mining right now, Marcus, and not mining means you're not getting money.
Now, JulyZerg obviously going and resorting to some harassment tactics. Is this affecting the economy of Iloveoov at all?
Yes, it is. He did a fast expansion, and when you fast expand, you absolutely have to get those SCVs or probes or drones to that location, else you're essentially wasting 400 or 300 minerals on that quick expansion.
And you're not getting money.
Yes, and in this case, with the SCVs being transferred back and forth, the money is not being mined. JulyZerg having some ballin' Zergling micro. He's really good at getting in and out of these Zerglings. And JulyZerg, I mean, there's lots of different ways to play this game, especially with Zerg. We've seen, for instance, like players like Yellow, that they like to, they're the kind of players, I was once talking to Iriador about this, they're the kind of players that if you hacked against them, you would win because all their tactics are based off deception. Whereas, like, whereas if you play against someone else with a different style, although this is a Terran player, for instance, like Nada, he's going to play straight up, and even if you were hacking against him, it might be still very, very difficult to win.
Interesting. All right, some Lurker eggs coming out right now. It could mean a possible rush here. I do see some fire bats have joined up, and those Zerglings get caught off guard there as the fire bats with the Marines do some serious damage. Only about 4 Zerglings left there, and although they did their jobs, they're going to be forced back to the base. A bunker will be put up just south of that expansion, and that may help ward off some of that economy interruption that's going on there.
Now, I hate to interrupt here, but we got 2 Lurkers coming in here. A hidden fast Lurker rush over to the back, and at this angle, these Marines, I do not believe they will do that. Whoa! Okay, yeah, they will not do that well over here against these Lurkers. He did lose quite a few units, but the Lurker remains. The Lurker of Doom over here, blasting those SCVs out. Once again, Marcus, we see those SCVs pulled off the expansion.
Yeah, and this has got to be, it's got to be hurt, obviously for the money situation. Another Lurker coming in from the south, and so he will try to flank from a southern location as well, obviously trying to avoid that bunker. He'll go up and join the one up top, and as long as he can keep him burrowed, he needs like a scanner, a science vessel or something to be able to take those guys out. Could this possibly mean the end of his expansion?
I would absolutely say it is probably not the end of his expansion, because since he can lift the command center, although he has not done that yet, what it does mean though is that he's not mining, and again, that fast expansion, that really hurts him. I have not seen him mine this yet. Marines are running, attempting to intercept those Zerglings before they meet up here. Note the positions of the Lurkers, although we cannot see them right now. They're positioned in such a way. Okay, careful. You got to be careful about that. If you lose that command center, that could have been GG right there, economically at least.
Now, we did see the Zerglings also coming in, and you kind of pointed this out to me yesterday, Tasteless, is that, like, it's so important not only to note what's happening, the action on the screen at the current moment, but the fact that there's other things that try to draw the attention away from the player and to get those attacks. And like you said, the Zerg, they rely on a little bit more sneaky tactics. That was definitely one of them. So the Zerg's coming in also to help. It looks like we got some more here, but this expansion is like on lockdown right now.
Yeah, no kidding. This is it's got a code red going on right now. And you see, notice the position of these Lurkers behind the geyser. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for the Marines to surround him. Especially since Marines are very fragile units, so you have to surround the Lurkers. If you can get them in such a position, like we're seeing back here, this I'm failing to find the word in my brain, but it's this angle that the Marines are going to have a hard time coming in here. Whoa, whoa! He almost got that tank. The tank outranging the Lurkers, even when not in siege mode. He will use this to try to pick off these attacks. Marcus, Iloveoov is in a lot of trouble right now.
Well, you know, we saw Iloveoov in trouble yesterday and then come back in an amazing win. This is a pot. Oh, we've got some Mutalisk coming out here as well. I see a couple of towers, but how bad could this be?
Well, it's really bad when you're playing JulyZerg and his Mutalisks. I don't know if he like pumps them up with drugs or something before he sends them out there, but those guys get out of control. His Mutalisks just flip out and kill everything whenever he wants to. Yeah, I mean, watch these guys. These Mutalisks are pissed. This tank will suffer JulyZerg's wrath. Immediately the Mutalisk pull back out. Note how he uses, well, that wasn't quite so good back there because he's getting so many of them hit, but he uses these Marines. They're so fast and he clumps them together. Very hard to target fire an individual Mutalisk that's weaker. Hard to pick that one out. He uses these to force Terran to make a lot more towers, to waste money on air defense, meanwhile expanding, picking off SCVs. Once again, the SCVs have been pulled off the minerals.
Now, did he pull away those Lurkers? Because I know we were focused there on the Mutalisk. And what happened to the 3 Lurkers that were up there and burrowed?
I believe he killed them, but I am not sure. I think they were picked off. You know, the objective of those Lurkers was to keep Iloveoov mining while JulyZerg grew bigger and bigger.
It does look like we will have a supply depot going down to the hands of the Mutalisk. We do have some medics. More SCVs just absolutely getting devastated here all over the place. Another bunker does go up to try to prevent. They've got one in the northwest, one southwest at this Terran expansion. But these Mutalisks are just raining hellfire down on this Terran expansion.
Yes, that's absolutely right. As you can see, the Overlord getting pulled up there. Many Zerg players group an Overlord in their Mutalisk when they're microing them. It's kind of an interesting technique. Forces the Mutalisk to clump together a little bit. There's so many secrets in this game, Marcus, so many techniques, so much practice, so much training has been put into this game. And it's all coming down to these finals here. WCG counterattack now coming up here by JulyZerg. This is not good for Iloveoov. I do believe he will lose the SCVs at his expansion. Unless he can, okay. In fact, he ignores the expansion. But Iloveoov ignores his own expansion as well. They're both going up here. I believe JulyZerg has priority, though, in his position. Yeah, GG.
Wow. And he did it on a map where he was wrecked in nearly 5 minutes versus Iloveoov in the World Cyber Games 2006 Korean Championship. He comes back, he does, you know, he stops, he spins, he stops the fast bunker rush, he tries to go in for a quick attack, and ultimately, man, he's really well played by JulyZerg, wouldn't you admit?
I would agree absolutely. I have to say I love Iloveoov's build back there, but it was not enough. I see an Italian yelling out right now that he's very happy. Very happy.
Yeah, happy.
See, he's run up on the stage. Just someone is so happy right now. He's come up here and actually yelled into my microphone that he is happy for JulyZerg. A big JulyZerg fan in the audience. Very exciting here.
Dude, he is super stoked, dude.
That guy was out of control.
Who was that guy?
I do not know, man. That was pretty crazy.
All right, well, the next set will be Azalea between JulyZerg and Iloveoov. Will JulyZerg pull out an upset over the favored Iloveoov, or will Iloveoov win this next game and force it to a third? We'll find out when we come back on Inside the Game.